More updates are on the way for College Football 26, and in this video, I'm going to be letting you know kind of what you can expect somewhat in the next update, also about when the next update will be coming, and we'll talk about some other things in this video as well. Now, if you are new to the video, of course, and you never want to miss out on any of the news for College Football 26, as there's going to be more updates every month for the rest of the year, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon on so you don't miss any of the important videos when I drop them. Now, every day in the comments section, I'm still getting more and more people asking, when's the next update? When is this getting fixed? When is that getting fixed? Because we know with EA in these games, every month we're going to be expecting a big update to come through all year long for about, the first 7 or 8 months that the game is out. Now, the last College Football 26 update was at the beginning of this month. So that means with next month being here in a few days, we can probably expect an update sometime within the next 10 days. Because the last update did drop officially on September 11th, which means anywhere within a week of October 11th, we should be getting the next update for College Football 26. And there's definitely some things we know that we could kind of be on the lookout for. Of course, gameplay is going to be a big thing with every single update. That's always the case with EA games. That's usually the biggest focal point of every update. Not only do they sometimes add things, but they do a lot of tweaking. Now, I will say in the last update, they did make the gameplay, in my opinion, a lot better in College Football 26, addressing things like the amount of dropped interceptions or the amount of catches that were being caught in triple coverage. They did make the blocking a little bit better, in my opinion, as well, but there still are other things to work on. Now, what's interesting is we can kind of know in some ways what's coming in this update because Madden and college football these last couple of years gameplay wise have gotten a lot of the same updates. Not 100%, but if they make a big sweeping change in one game, they have pretty much always put it in the other game. So one big thing I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting in this update are route stem fixes, because in the last Madden update, which dropped about a week after the last college update, the middle of this month, one of the biggest things they did in that update was they addressed the fact that you could route stem corners all the way down to 1 yard, which made them really, really hard to defend. It was kind of something that I feel like went overlooked for a while, even with Madden last year. When they finally put this new thing in the game, they didn't really adjust to how people were abusing the system with corner routes. So with this last Madden update, they made it to where you could no longer route stem corners all the way down to 1 yard. They made them to where they can only go down to about 3 yards, which does still make them effective, but they're not nearly as overpowered or as glitchy as they were previously, and they are a lot easier to be defended now. So I do think we can expect stuff like that coming to this next college update as well. Now, in the update for Madden, they also made a ton of changes to the passing game, to pass coverage, to the run game. I mean, they really did somewhat of a big overhaul to gameplay, and a lot of areas they fixed and made better a lot of things. But one thing that did kind of happen with that update is it seemed that it made defense a lot worse in Madden. In fact, defense in Madden now feels a lot closer to how it did at the beginning of College Football 26, where you couldn't catch interceptions. It was super hard to get stops. And so I wonder if we're going to see something like that potentially happen with the college update. I hope not, because the last update made defense better, but it's just kind of funny how Madden and college both did kind of a 180 in a way. But they did a lot of stuff with passing game, pass coverage, run game, a lot of work with contains as well. And so I do think we could see a lot of that potentially coming in this college update. I think we could see a lot more stuff, just fine tuning of the gameplay and just fixing some of the overpowered stuff that people have been abusing. Now, we're going to continue on with what else you can expect with this update, but really quickly, here's a word from today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Arena Club. Looking to buy, sell, trade, or rip packs? Well, Arena Club is changing the game with their original slab packs. Whether you're chasing grails or flipping slabs, Arena Club makes it easy to collect the cards you love. With slab packs, you can rip a wide range of packs starting at $25 and up. Every pack has grails that are at least 20 times the price of the pack. So I'm going to go ahead here and open up this Ruby football pack, and we actually are going to get a pretty good card here. We're going to get a rookie Josh Allen. Now, one of my favorite things about Arena Club is that if you don't want the card that you pull, they will give you an instant offer that is at least 90% of the value of the card. So you can sell it back to Arena Club right away and get the money in your account. Or you could keep the card in your vault for selling or trading later, or you can retrieve the card and they'll literally send it to your house. In fact, this Jaden Daniels card right here, I pulled on Arena Club a while back, and since I'm a big Jaden Daniels fan, I decided to retrieve the card and they sent it to me in the mail. Arena Club is the most trusted name in the game. They offer full transparency, showing you every card in the pack with the likelihood of pulling each one, so you know exactly what's available before you buy. And of course, they're going to be hooking y'all up. Right now, you can get 20% off of your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/Rayweather and use code Rayweather. Now, in terms of Dynasty and Road to Glory, to be honest, I'm not really too sure what we can expect in that update. I know that last year with College Football 25, they did continue to address things in Dynasty and Road to Glory for at least the first few updates of the game, so we could potentially see some small little fixes there, but I don't really know if there's anything too big or major that they have to go after still right now like they did last year. You know, the first few months of last year, there were still some bugs and some things they had to go after. I don't know if there's that many of those things this year, so I don't know if we're going to be seeing a ton of that stuff in this update, but there is always a possibility that there's some things that they're going to be addressing there. In terms of just new content being added to the game, something like that is kind of always up in the air. Last year, I think they did a really good job at adding stuff as we went, and there have been a lot of rumors, even before this game came out, of certain things that they wanted to add, potentially in title updates this year, but those things could have also been moved to College Football 27, so there's really no guarantee if they're going to add something like a mascot mode, for example. That's been a rumor for a while that they want to do something like that, but, you know, I haven't heard anything specific that they're going to be doing that in a title update. It's just been a rumor that was going around even before the game dropped, but that could also be something they potentially push to 27. But one thing I know EA definitely likes to do, especially in those first few months of the game, is they like to put more stuff in the game to kind of keep people coming back, because you have all these other games that are releasing, other sports games and just titles in general, and every game company wants to keep players on their game. They want to keep them coming back to the game, so that's why in those first few months of updates, you might see them put a new mode in the game or something new to kind of experience in the game that you would think typically is something they would use before the game drops, that they're promoting heavily to buy the new game, but sometimes even a few months into it, they'll actually just put something new into the game because it's ready. So there's always a possibility for that. We're still early in the year, and there have been rumors of certain things going around, but nothing too concrete that I could say 100% that we're going to see that. Now, I know some other things we definitely can expect in this update is more equipment and uniforms, because that's something that they were very consistent with last year, and they've been consistent with that so far this year in the updates that we've gotten. They've been trying to add a lot of new equipment to the game because there has been a lot of pushback online from people wanting more equipment in the game and wanting it to be in the game faster. So we've seen new face masks already, new cleats and stuff like that. I think we're going to potentially be seeing some more of that in this update. Definitely stuff like new cleats, maybe hopefully, you know, some new helmets and stuff like that as well. In terms of some of the bigger stuff that people are waiting on, like the leg sleeves and the new mouthpieces and stuff like that, I'm not really too sure we're going to get that in this update. That might honestly be a thing that they push to next year. I haven't heard anything too concrete about it, but I know we will be getting some type of new equipment because they've been very consistent with that. And in terms of uniforms and like custom helmets for teams, you know, teams are always switching out new helmets, doing new alternate uniforms, introducing throwback uniforms, new alternates, all that stuff. We're definitely going to be getting a bunch of that. In fact, the uniform guy even said on Twitter a while back that the next update was going to have even more, you know, uniforms than the previous one did. And the previous one had a good bit. And if we go back to last year with College 25, I would say the first 4 or 5 updates of the year had very consistent uniform additions. We're talking 20 plus new things when you include helmets and alternates and stuff like that. So if you're still waiting on certain things for your favorite team or new helmets that have been introduced, we should be seeing a lot of that added in this update, just like we did in the previous one. So not sure exactly which ones they're going to be, but if your team has unveiled a new alternate or a new helmet over the last 6 weeks, there's a decent chance that some of those are going to be in this update. And that's always, you know, kind of a big thing with these games. You know, we want all of the new stuff to wear and just new things to kind of switch things up so it doesn't feel, you know, the same every time we hop into a game. Another big thing we can be expecting really soon as well is a big roster update / overhaul. Now, this won't be a part of the title update because it's something completely separate. Last year with 25, they did about 3 separate roster updates once every 4 to 5 weeks. So now that we are a few weeks into the college football season, it's about that time for the first major roster update where they're going to take the players who have been playing really well and increase their ratings. Players who are underperforming, they're going to decrease their ratings, and they're going to do a big shakeup. They're going to also readjust the team rankings, I believe, as well. They're going to adjust other things like maybe some jersey numbers for players who have switched and things like that. So that should be coming pretty soon as well. It will be separate from the title update, but I would think within the next few weeks as well, we should be getting that because it's about that time to kind of do a refresh based on how players are performing right now. So that's about what we know for the next update. Again, expected within the next 10 days, probably going to be pretty gameplay and cosmetic focused, but there could always be some surprises because sometimes they slip those things in there. Now, there also are some really cool hidden features in College Football 26 that you probably don't know about, so if you want to check that out, make sure to check out this video right here on the screen.